Hello, this is your boy Mr. What If here, bringing you a brand new lovely little video on my YouTube channel. And yes, I have returned to bring you a part 2 to What If Piccolo trained Deku part 2. And as you can see, this lovely little piece of work is from a good friend of mine, a very good close friend of mine, goes by the name Anime God. And his link to his channel is going to be in the description below. And please go like and subscribe to his videos. He makes good videos, not even gonna cap. And please like and subscribe to my channel and to my videos. Thank you much. Now, last part I left off on What If Piccolo trained Deku. I believe I, left off when Piccolo agreed to train Deku. Now, I don't know if sorry about that. I don't know if I said Deku had a quirk or not, but I don't remember if I said Deku had a quirk or not. If I didn't, I'll be retconning that he does have a quirk, and if I did say he has a quirk, he has a quirk, and his quirk will be his father's fire breathing. And the reason why I'm keep saying that Deku has a quirk, which is his dad's fire breath, is it's gonna come in handy later. It's gonna come in handy for an attack later, and if you know what I mean by an attack later, then you already know what this what if's gonna be about it. Alright, so Piccolo, I'm gonna do a small little time skip because I believe I said Deku was 5 years old. So I'm gonna say a 3-year time skip. Sorry about that. I'll say a 3-year time skip to when Deku around the age of 8, if I'm correct. So and Deku and Piccolo are doing a quick little spar. I'm gonna say during the time skip, nothing much didn't happen besides Deku learning how to the 3 months, the time skip of the 3 years was just him learning the fundamentals of ki control, and Deku can jump a little bit higher and jump a little bit farther than your average human kid at the age. So other than that, Deku's just been meditating, eating a little bit better, he's been working out a little bit, and he's learning and he's understanding the basics of ki control, his ki pressure. And I'm gonna say that Deku tapped into sensing ki maybe 3 times. Tapped into sensing Piccolo's ki when he was doing training to where he had to use his ki to sense where Piccolo is hidden, like their own type of hide and seek. So as Piccolo and Deku are doing a quick little light spar, they're just Deku's putting up is showing off a good, Deku's showing off what he learned during the past 3 years in his martial arts that Piccolo's been training him, and Piccolo is somewhat a little bit impressed that Deku has learned the way he did, and he's accepted and learned and tried to make use of what he got. And Piccolo does know about Deku's fire breathing, and he has Deku work on his fire breathing a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna say how strong Deku's fire breathing is. He's able to melt your average size boulder. He's able to melt that with his fire breathing. That's how strong his fire breathing is. I know that could be a little bit high for his age, melting a boulder just using his fire breathing, but I'm gonna say since he's been focusing on that ki pressure, and he has once or twice used ki with his fire breathing to give it a boost, a good enough boost, I'll say yeah. So Deku's quite fairly strong. I'm gonna say Deku is at least let's see. I'm not very good with Dragon Ball Z power scaling, and I know you guys are gonna put in the comments that's the wrong power scaling. I'm gonna say right here now, I'm not that good with it, really not. But I believe in the beginning when they went to Kami's house, Master Roshi's island, and whatever, in the first episode when we see Raditz meets Goku, I think it was stated that Goku had a power level around 9. No, not 9. He had a power level around, what was his power level around? His power level was around 900 to 1,000, I believe. It was either around 900 or 1,000. I believe it was 900 because he was close. So, yeah. So, I'm going to say, since I believe Goku's power level was around in the 900s or 1,000, was close or somewhere near 1,000, I'm going to say that Deku's power level is under that. I'll say that his power level is roughly around 600. And I'm going to be only focusing on Deku's power scaling. So you don't have to worry about me messing up for everybody else and ruining Dragon Ball Z. I won't be focusing on their power scaling. I'll just be focusing on Deku. And maybe other characters if you guys want anybody else to learn Ki. So, yeah. Deku... Deku's are roughly around 500 and his power level is 550 plus Ki. If he charges up using his Ki, I'll say roughly, since his power level, base power level is 550, I'll say with Ki it brings him up to, I'll say it brings him up to 600, and I might be buffing or might be debuffing Ki. The reason why it might seem like, I'll say 620. I know some of y'all gonna be like, wait a minute, that's not how much Ki is. Wait a minute, that's a little bit too less than Ki. The reason why I'm saying it has a buff like that, bringing his base power level from 550 to 620, is because Deku is still a young kid. He's not. He's gonna be a prodigy, but he's still a kid. You know, he's still got to work with his physical capabilities and how much he can handle. So I'll say that his base power level is 550 plus Ki would bring it up. Plus Ki, which is his, when he's going to his max, is 620. So Deku's a little powerful. Yeah, Deku's quite powerful of a kid. And I know what you're gonna say, wait a minute, Goku when he was a kid, his power level wasn't that high. It was around, his highest power level when he was a child was 100, and that was because of the Ozara form. I understand that, but I want to bring his Ki. I want to bring Deku's. I understand that it's the most understandable, most reasoning, but the way I'm doing it is that I don't want Deku to lack in the power department. Even though this what if is solely focused on his mental state, but I also want to bring in the power factors because you guys did state that you wanted some Z fighters, to be in it. So since I'm doing it like this, certain characters like All Might will be way stronger in this. Endeavor might be a little bit stronger. Todoroki is definitely gonna be stronger. Bakugo might be stronger. Few people are gonna be a lot stronger than their average canon because this is Dragon Ball Z. Of course, people's gonna be stronger. So yeah, Deku. So Deku's sitting around at a nice 550. And if you guys are curious to know what Bakugo's would be, I'll say 700. Joking, I'm joking. Alright, so Deku's a pretty powerful kid. And it's quite noticeable. He's pretty powerful, The boy's melting a boulder with his flame, with his fire breathing, and he's able to, punch through a wall. Like, the boy is pretty strong. pretty strong for his age. And my what if wouldn't be the first what if of Deku being as strong as a young child. Literally, this been a what if of what if Deku was a god, and when he was a child, he was able to literally punch through Earth and then recreate it. Like, come on now. I'm not the first what if YouTuber, and I'm not gonna be the last. Um, so Deku, he's sitting around at a nice 550. When he levels up and gets to full power, plus his ki will bring him up to a good 620. So as Deku is going all out against Piccolo, and Piccolo, keeping himself maintained due to his age, due to Deku's age and understandable power, they're having a nice, good little spar. And then this is when then later on, Deku and Piccolo would go for a nice walk, because Deku right now, I wouldn't say Deku knows how to fly, but I'll say that he's able to jump high. Deku's jumping capabilities and how high and far he can jump makes it look like he's flying just a tad bit, a fair enough bit. So, yeah, Deku is pretty powerful. Yeah, he's pretty powerful as a child. And as Deku is going around, Deku and Piccolo walking and just talking, and Piccolo's telling him a little bit about himself, and Deku's telling him about himself and what his somewhat life is now. And Piccolo could say that he understands about the whole, never having a father thing, and he never really had a mother either, but, the way how Chi-Chi and Bulma be yelling at Vegeta and Goku, he can understand what that somewhat, kind of, mainly Chi-Chi yelling at kind of Gohan for, not focusing on the studies when he was younger. Yeah, Piccolo kind of got that little vibe of what a mother could possibly be. He's not fully sure, but he knows that he knows that parents are loving and caring. He knows that much. He knows that. Piccolo ain't stupid. But yeah, Piccolo understands, and Piccolo tells Deku about how his father used to be known as the Demon Lord Piccolo. Sorry about that. His father was known as the Demon Lord Piccolo, and all that, and all yada yada yada, and how he basically progressed as he goes through his age and his life. And Deku asks him the number one question, so what are you planning to do now? And Piccolo looks at Deku and just pats Deku on the head and then keeps walking. And then Deku doesn't really understand by the whole patting on the head and awkward silence. So yeah. So I'll say that soon as Deku and Piccolo get back to the little hut that Piccolo lives in, Piccolo puts Deku to bed and he calls up Bulma. And the conversation between Piccolo and Bulma is very awkward since they haven't talked to each other in a long time. And yes, Bulma still uses the Dragon Balls, and Earth Dragon Balls are in this. So yeah, Bulma still uses the Dragon Balls to look a little bit younger. Not gonna say she fully looks younger, she just looks a little bit younger. Right now, Bulma looks like Bulma from Dragon Ball GT. That's what Bulma looks like right. In this day and age, I'm gonna say Bulma looks like that. And, you know, Vegeta got himself a nice beard. Goku is still rocking his normal self. He looks a little bit older. He got a little bit taller, a little bit more I'm not going to say bulkier. I'm going to say he put on a little weight. Just a little bit, Put on a little bit of weight, but he still looks nice. Yeah. So I'm going to say basically everybody looks like what they would look like in Dragon Ball GT. That's what basically everybody looks like. So, Deku, and the reason why Piccolo called Bulma is to enroll Deku in in school, because Piccolo does know that, even though he's training Deku and teaching him as much as he knows due to the knowledge from, Kami whispering in Piccolo's ear, teaching Deku certain things, Kami's telling Piccolo in his mind to teach Deku about this or teach him about that, teach him the fundamentals of science and reading and all that. Yeah, that's what Kami's giving a little, Kami's helping out Piccolo, raise Deku in a sort of way. But Piccolo does want Deku to, grow up as a normal life and not pick up that, oh, I want to fight, 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 I want to fight strong people and all that. He doesn't want Deku to pick up that mentality. Because at the rate Deku's going, he's kind of gotten that mentality because he keeps, pushing himself too much during the spars against him and Deku. So yeah, he doesn't want Deku to develop that real quick. He knows that Deku's gonna want to fight to protect people and be a hero, but he wants him to also have education. So Bulma one day comes out into the middle of nowhere where Piccolo hut is, and Bulma meets Deku. And Deku acts a little shy because it's been a while since he met someone. No, that's someone that look well. He's not shy because somebody looks human like him. He's just shy because he hasn't met another person in like 3 years. Come on, and plus he's a kid, so he's gonna be a little shy. And Bulma talks to Deku and then asks what his name is, and then he says, "My name is Izuku Midoriya." And then Bulma starts to think like she's heard that name Midoriya before. She heard Midoriya. She's heard of the name Midoriya. And she can't quite put her finger on it, but the name's ringing one bell in her head. It's ringing one bell in her head. But yeah, Bulma feels like she's heard of such a name as Midoriya. But the only thing she can really remember is Piccolo mentioning the boy's full name. And Deku and Bulma to she starts to understand Deku's point of view. And Deku is kind of off and on about some of the questions she's asking or trying to tell him about, or you know he's kind of in a state of moment, like a oh. He's in a and oh and wow type moment. You know. So yeah, after when Bulma is done, talking to Zuko, she then talks to Piccolo, and Piccolo is, how Piccolo is when he's, spitting straight facts. And Bulma is counteracting him, causing Piccolo to, stutter a bit on some of the things he's trying to explain. And then Bulma pops the number one question: do you really care about the kid? And then this is when Piccolo's like, he's just a kid that has nobody. Why wouldn't I, do my role as a normal person, as a normal being, a living being, to help out another living being? And then Bulma asks him once again, saying, that's not the question I asked you. I said, do you care about this little boy like if he was your own? And then Piccolo stays silent. Sorry about that. Piccolo then stays silent, and then Bulma smiles, saying, you do care about the kid. And then this is when Piccolo will put on a pouty face, will put on a baby pout face, and be like, whatever, whatever you say, Bulma. And then Bulma says, well, I'll do my best trying to enroll him in school. Just bring him over to the, capsule court so he can get on the bus and get to school once he gets enrolled in. And then this is when Piccolo would say thanks. And this is when we will see Bulma wave bye to Deku and Piccolo. And Deku and Piccolo sit down outside. And then this is when we will see Piccolo look up in the sky, looking at the stars and the moon. And then Deku would do the same thing. And this is when Deku would start to nod out like he's sleepy, and then Piccolo would be like, you tired, kid? And then Deku would be like, no, I'm fine, I'm not sleepy. And then Piccolo would start asking Deku about life questions like, what do you, if being a hero is something you want to do, what happens when you can't do that dream? And then Deku is like, well, everyone always has a choice to be what they want to be, and no one's really different from anyone else. It's only how people view other people, and I view everybody the same, just like how I view you, Mr. Piccolo. And then this is when Piccolo would, you know, blush a little bit, saying, "Thanks, kid." And this is when Deku would just pass out on, would just fall asleep on Piccolo's shoulder, on his arm. And this is when Piccolo would look at Deku, and then as he's looking at Deku, he can see Gohan when Gohan was younger in Deku. Sees Gohan as Deku, and this is when Piccolo would say, "You're not bad, kid. Not bad at all." This is when he would pick up Deku and put him and walk inside, putting him on the couch, and then he would say, "Good night, kid." And then this is when Piccolo would go to sleep. And I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I hope you guys like, subscribe. I hope you guys like the little, love moment at the end, father and son bonding, which is gonna be much more of than fighting, even though it's Dragon Ball Z X My Hero Academia. So, yeah, I hope you guys like, subscribe. Go check out my boy Anime God for making this beautiful piece of art that you see here. Until then, my fams. Till then, fams. I'll be catching y'all later. Peace.